Bueno, buenas tardes a todos.
Good afternoon to you all. We will make the presentation of the solar park. Let me show my presentation. Well, first of all, thank you for the invitation. Coope Guanacaste is a cooperative of rural in the province of Guanacaste, and we carry electricity to more than 70,000 associates in an area of generation of 3,696 square meters. We are a cooperative that provides service to the associate based on a quality service based on protect the environment, protection of environment, and as is our final project, the distribution of electric energy. In addition to distributing energy, Coope Guanacaste also has worked on the area of generation of energy, finding commercialization of it at a better price, being sustainable in time, and in this solidity that we want, we diversify our business areas, increasing the distribution of internet with optic fiber in our area, and also services for commercialization of articles and electric items. By being a cooperative, the service, customer service to the associate is a very strong component that the cooperative has, where it impacts the area of construction of generation projects. The topic of social help takes relevance and takes a lot of emphasis. Given this introduction, as mentioned by Masami in his presentation, they've made the decision of diversifying the electric matrix with renewable sources with the purpose of making the matrix more robust. So this means that because of climate change, if we have a strong wind, very strong summer, we will use the eolic generation, the photovoltaic generation. On the other hand, if we have the winters, prolonged winters, the wind goes down, radiation goes down, but we generate a hydroelectric source. So under this concept, we've developed in 2008 the construction of our first hydroelectrical plant in 2016. The second plant started operating. In 2017, we built the Juanilama Solar Park with Don Alfredo and Masami mentioned this project that we're going to tell you about it. And in 2008, it started generation 2 parks. One was Rio Naranjo, the other Cacao, both add up to 30 megawatts of installed capacity, and with all this block of energy, we generate 250 gigawatts hour per year. We try to find, as we mentioned, this balanced matrix. We have in 2021 the construction of a new solar park for 2022 and 2023, a gasification plant, which is a plant that has a an environmental component and social component, high impact component for the area, given the problems that our province has with handling and proper exposure of residue. Well, as I mentioned before, in 2017, we made the construction of the solar park, Manilama Solar Park, which was under the mechanism of the JCM, and we worked hand in hand with the NGN company. This solar park, at the time when it started operating, was the largest solar park in the country. We installed close to 15,000 panels in 5.6 hectares in our area of concession. It's made up by two investor groups of high technology. We will look into it, and which convert energy of direct current energy to AC, DC to DC, and we elevate them to the network of distribution. This connotation, or this point of connecting directly to the distribution network, allows us to have savings in energy transmission. With the generation of the solar park that produces around 8.5 million kilowatts hour, we are feeding more than 2010 hours in our concession area, and we are reducing approximately close to 2,000 tons of CO2 per year. This is a park that has a characteristic, a very important characteristic for the cooperative and also for NBM Innova. As I mentioned, and also mentioned by Mr. Alfredo in his presentation, we have technology, peak technology, the best in the market. Panasonic panels was the main one in the project, and 325 watt peak power panels. We also have ESMA investors made in Germany, and the rest of the structures and components also first quality that were used in this construction of the park. In the operational results, the park has been operating according to the generation conditions. It's pretty stable, and as you see in the tables, the park has generated the highest use of solar redirection on each of the years. Regarding the plant, well, it's a park that goes above the standards in solar parks. It's between 19 and 20%. The solar park has had important between 21 and 22% of plant factor. As we can see on this last chart, where we see by month each of the years of operation of the park. In the participants of the ACM structure, we've been hand in hand working with entity data regarding the company that represented and had all the contact and made all the report. It was Honilama, the solar park, and MGM Innova as developers of the park or the farm, and And as we mentioned, it was Panasonic that they had all the process, the engineering, the equipment, the installing them and set in motion of them, and Coope Guanacaste and the owner of the project, where today, in addition, we also give maintenance to the solar park. In this function that we have all the maintenance plans, the preventive maintenance plan of the solar park to be able to obtain the operational results that you could observe in the past charts that we have young technicians, very knowledgeable in solar, and this is the video too. And all the staff, the external staff, has a cooperative for different techniques to give and generate trends for each of the primary equipment that we have in the park. Likewise, throughout 2020, our province, our concession area, made was the effect of COVID was strong. Our demand of energy reduced yearly in 8% in 2019. This forced us to take different measures, the budgetary measures, and we accomplished to reduce 100% of our collaborators, which was a very accurate decision by the general management and the directors of the company. And we established protocols in the generation centrals. We isolated the operators to avoid contagions, and up to this point there haven't been any reports of contagion. We increased cleaning, we reduced visits of people or external personnel in the plant, and in case we had without contact in operation, we try to find remote operation and be ready in case of isolation of one of the centrals, that this could be operated remotely by another central, either eolic or a solar with eolic, hydro with hydro, trying to find this duality of the operation. It's important to mention that throughout this year, 2020, the actions of the plant were good. The variables, the electric variables and the generation conditions were in the expected parameters. This is my presentation, and this is the park, the solar park, Guanilama Park, a company that, as I mentioned, distributes electric energy in the province of Guanacaste in Costa Rica.